Welcome aboard, climate viewers. You are not too early, Richard. How's it going? Testing out some new stuff. I'm gonna see how all this is working. Make sure everything's popping up where they should be. Come on, chat box, behave. Welcome aboard, Mike. Seeing what's up with the chat box. Doesn't seem to be coming through yet. But we shall see. Might help if I actually move that below there. Okay. There we go. Kind of small, don't you think? Let's turn that up. We're gonna do some testing here. You're all my guinea pigs tonight. You like the new interface? Yeah, I'm digging it. I'm digging it so far. Font settings. Let's make it bigger. Let's go up. Let's see. How's that look? All right, we'll fire that up. So let's go to chat box. Let's go to a really big size. Let's say 50. That way it's nice and clear. Looking good. Appreciate it. Yeah, testing out some new stuff. Got a whole bunch of new toys to play with. All right. Appreciate it, Mike. There you go. Oh yeah, we're in business. That's a does everybody agree that's a bit too large? I mean, it's really clear. Everybody will clearly be able to read what you're writing, but we won't be able to get a whole lot of comments in there. All right, so let's go flip over here. Boom. And let's make sure we got the chat in the same spot. Yep, chat porter's in the wrong spot. Font settings. Still looking good. Nice and legible. Let's flip it over here. Chat box. Below the border. Move that up. All right. Welcome to the stream. All right, over here. Let's do that thing. Looks like that's already in the right place. Beautiful. Okay. So far, so good. If you're new to the channel, obviously hit that subscribe button. But what I'm setting up, I've obviously moved to some new stuff, and as you can see here, after I throw up the intro and then I go and I flip to here, I got this nice little tree transition, and I got my chats, and I can just flip them on and off. Clearly just working out all the bugs. Nice. Working good. Got that. Got that. Got that. Got that. Flip, flip, flip. Y'all can't take it anymore. I hate that it clears the chat after I change out, but you know, it is what it is. So let me see this. Welcome aboard, Will. You are part of a human experiment on YouTube. Go back to here. Let's go back to just chatting. So yeah, what I've been doing is setting up for the Sunday show, because I plan on doing a show every Sunday where I take your calls, do all that sort of thing. If anybody feels like calling in to be my first guinea pig, hit that dial button, because I'm really interested to see what happens. Should work. So who's going to be first? Regardless. So had a good week. Made quite a few videos. I intend on continuing to make videos Monday through Friday. I want them to come out 9 o'clock Eastern every night. And we're going to be doing that sort of thing regularly. Why didn't the alert box just pop up? I should have got an alert just now. But Streamlabs thanks you apparently. Oh my goodness. So yeah, we're gonna get this thing all worked out today for sure. I've got my chat box up. Everything seems to be working in order. I'm gonna test out a couple of these other things. I can be right back button. Yeah. All right. Good to go. That thing there. Back to the start. My cover image. Brought this one out of the vault. My ClimateViewer radio from back in the day. Using that. And let's just head back over here. So yeah, like I said, what I want to do is get this call-in show going. I usually do like a lengthy broadcaster on Sunday, and I'm going to be doing a lot of coding on the website. So what I figured is I might as well go ahead and plan on just streaming it while I'm doing it. Mike, give me a call, brother, man. Interested to have my first call and see if it actually comes through. I should get an alert. I've got the number up here on the other screen, and I definitely want to test it out. Darling, do you know where my phone is? No. Because I'm curious if it's going to forward right past the web browser to my phone or not. But that's going to be interesting, to say the least. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Hey, Mike, can you hear me? Give me 1 second and let me figure out what's going on with the sound, because I can see you talking. Should be using that. Communication device. Speakers are on. Can you hear me, Mike? Microphone, sound, allow, everything's good there. Audio settings are all on the wrong setting. That's why I can't hear you. Okay, so let me change that. Speakers, ringing. Okay. Mike, can you hear me now? Everything should be working. All right, if you can call me back, Mike, I think I got it set up right now. Apparently, I have my output set to my Onkyo over there. Major fail, right? And that's what tests are for. So if Mike, if you want to give me a call back real quick, or Earth calling Mike. I'm also running my stream in ultra low latency mode for the first time, so there shouldn't be a long delay between what I'm seeing in chat and it went to voicemail, so I left you a message. Yeah, that's probably because I didn't actually, when I answered it, I normally have to press 1. I'm going to do away with that for the... In fact, I might be able to do that now, but do this. Incoming calls, screen calls, hear the caller's name when you pick up. Let's just turn that off. All right. That should work. So Mike, give me a call back. Let me see how it works. If you don't mind. Free of charge. If you're in the continental US. I don't have an 800 number. We ain't rich like that. But yeah, I do want to give this a good test and at least see it work one time. Because I do intend on having, some conversations with my fellow climate viewers about some of these more complex topics. As you know, this week I covered chemtrails for the first time in quite a while. And I know there's a whole lot of people with a whole lot of questions on just that topic alone. There are many different topics that I do want to cover. And, hey, why not have the option at any point for you guys just to interrupt my live stream and totally take me off on a tangent? Because that's always fun. But like I said, if anybody would like to call in, numbers right there. You can be my guinea pig, and we'll give it another shot. So I will listen for that now that I've got it properly set up, and continue to run my mouth in the meantime. So as you know, I'm working on ClimateViewer.org, or actually I'm working on weathermodificationhistory.com right now. Then I'm going to work on ClimateViewer.com. It's going to be completely revamped. What I've noticed is, during the last week, I was covering a lot of stuff that I've previously covered. Some of these articles are as old as like 2013. I covered one from like 2012 and 2014 this week, and half the audience was like, what the hell was that? So obviously there's, a lot of material on climate on all three of my websites that none of you have ever seen. And I really need to kind of update that, kind of revisit everything. So that's what we're going to be doing. Oh, there we go. Mike, can you hear me, bud?
Hey, there you are. Hear you loud and clear.
There you go, bud. And everybody should be able to hear you in chat as well. I'm seeing it pop up. Everything's fine on Streamlabs. Nice to finally talk to you, man. Heard you, it's been a while. We actually spoke on the phone before.
Oh, yeah, we spoke many times before on the phone, before you got your surgery and all kinds of stuff in the past. But the kids want you to hear when I said we got real guinea pigs, I wasn't kidding around. So the kids want you to hear the squeaking guinea pigs. All right, kid. Have them squeak. Go
ahead. Oh, man. My kids had guinea pigs. It was horrible. I told my daughter, I said, all they do is pee and poop in massive amounts. Oh my God, don't ever do this to me again.
We got 4 or 5 baby guinea pigs and some mama guinea. We got a whole house full of guinea pigs.
Oh man, they're very cute. That's for sure. But
right.
I don't know that I could do it. Like I've got enough things going on between a funeral this week and a whole lot of other things. Kind of harsh.
Right. Yeah,
How you been,
they're pretty high maintenance. Good. Well, pretty good. Hanging there. Got a little bug last week. I don't know if it was a COVID or what, a flu bug or what it was. Boy, I felt terrible. But I'm good now. How about yourself? How's the wife and the kids? Wife and the girls?
Oh man, they're growing up too fast. If I could just keep my eldest daughter from watching TikTok on YouTube, I think we'd be okay. That's not likely to happen.
Hey, let me ask you this: since I'm on the cell phone, so I'm probably, I guess, talking live. I can't watch what you're doing.
Yeah, you're live, dude.
At the same time. So is it coming out good? Can everybody?
Yeah, apparently everybody can hear you just fine.
Nice. So I'm your primo guinea pig here.
Yes, you are. You're the first ever ClimateViewer Radio call in. So make the most of it, dude. What you want to talk about? Got any questions?
Well,
you want to bitch at me? Want to fight about it?
Man. Yeah. What about? What do you make about? Well, I don't know how. Well, you tell it like it is. Yeah, all this. What about politics? Is that cool on your line, or you steer clear of that?
I mean, that's part of the reason that I'm doing this is because I can basically blame you for making me bring it up. But what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm a blamable type of a guy because I tell it like it is. All right. Well, I'm over here in good old California, and I'm kind of one of those rebellious, non-mask wearing type of guys, and no jobs for me. Now everybody else, hey, did you get the jab? Did you get in there? Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm the first guy to get it, and we get booster shots every week. In fact, I've been thinking about getting shirts made up that says, "We got the jab. Did you get yours?" That way, people just leave you alone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna go there because I'm not doing it. Yeah, there are certain people who clearly will, and that's a personal health choice. That's the way I look at it.
Right. Right.
I'm
Right.
a rugged individualist. I believe in your right to do whatever you want with your life as long as it doesn't physically affect me or you try to push your shit on me. Um, so, you know, not going to get into all the hot button topics, but generally speaking, as a rule, if you want to be gay and married, I'm cool with it. Doesn't affect me.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go kill yourself, that's you're right. In my opinion, I mean that's pretty harsh, but you have a right to live and die free. And that's what I think
Right.
America stands for. So anybody who wants to get in between my ability to do whatever I want with my life, as long as it's not harming other people, then what's a problem? And I think that too many people are just, so, they, there's a local call-in show that's about politics here in Sumter, and it's called Good Morning, Wake Up Carolina, hosted by Ken Ard, and I call in regularly
Mm-hmm.
because I hear things and then I just can't help myself. And we were, he's been talking about vaccines for the last month, and of course, I brought up the whole, well, there was the swine flu, vaccine of 1976, and the government was making PSAs saying everybody should get this vaccine, and then Guillain-Barré syndrome, started to pop up everywhere. Then there were class action lawsuits against the government, against the makers, and then the makers didn't want to make the vaccines unless the government said they would, take the shot, literally in the wallet, and give them blanket immunity from lawsuits. So it seems like history is repeating itself. But I told him, just like I say at the end of all my videos, the main problem that we have is that people are so busy attacking people that they're not really attacking ideas. There's a breakdown in tribalism, where people don't want to discuss in detail where we differ, where we can find common ground. And that's really where I stand on politics. I think that people should be able to find common ground. And I think that the one thing that's kind of unifying about what I mainly talk about, which is weather modification, geoengineering, that sort of stuff, is that despite what you might hear that climate change is to blame for all the severe weather, the weather does not give a crap about your political beliefs, your religious beliefs. It doesn't care about any of that. I don't know how you feel about it, but that's how I feel about it. So I don't think that really, aside from the fact that there are, politicians that want to mandate this and that, that politics only plays a role in this, in that they protect the individuals that do the things that we commonly bitch about on this channel. So, I mean,
Jim,
what do you think?
Jim, I'm going to kick in. You just jogged me. I'm going to switch complete gears on you. Back to weather modification. Now watch this. I've been watching you for years, and watch this. Prior, let's say, to the COVID, right, the COVID scare, whatever, the pandemic. Before, I mean, my goodness, planes shooting left and right, right and left, spraying us out, hazy skies every day, almost every day, seemed like for years, hazy, silver skies, just, I mean, every plane just, like doing, like you say, the cloud farts. I mean, just chronic. I mean, we watch it all the day, and I got a lot of people. I said, check this out. We can't even get a warm day anymore. Now watch this. And I noticed and I watch what's going on. I look up all the time. Just about the time they threw this COVID thing out, what? Mysteriously, it's like there's no chemtrails, or the generic term. It's like they're not spraying. Okay, what's going on? I mean, like nothing. In fact, I sit there and I watched. I was keeping a log in my book. It was like almost for 3 months straight. I didn't see one cloud, from a plane straight. And I'm like, what the heck?
Yep.
Now here we are now. Fast forward, say today, over here in California where I live. Oh man, this has been one of the hottest summers that I can remember for a long time. I mean, excruciating heat every single day. Everybody's wiped out. Everything's dying. Lakes are drying up. Everybody's complaining. I'm sitting there. I was telling the kids the other day. I said, if they wanted to, they could just shoot a few planes across the sky here. They just cool everybody down. We can be just chilling and some nice hazy, cool sky. Nothing, Joe. I mean, kids, when's the last time you seen any planes spraying? Recently? Anybody notice?
I mean, honestly, in South Carolina, it's pretty rare, but then again, it really is dependent on where you live. For example, Amanda Bays, she's one of the ladies that spoke with me at the EPA hearing. She lives in Virginia Beach. And I use her as an example commonly because if you live in Virginia Beach, then you're between all of these international airports around DC and all of these military bases. And it's like damn near always cloudy. But if you met, like when I lived in Coolidge, Casa Grande, Arizona, where I live here now, it's hit or miss. Most days I don't really have a problem here. Other days it's just like, especially in the wintertime, because clearly it's going to be colder, more clouds are going to form. So any plane that crosses over is going to leave a big trail and it's going to fan out and make a cirrus cloud. So I really honestly believe that it has to do with the flight pass and, the number of flights you have in your local vicinity. And obviously the closer you are to an international airport, the more you're going to experience. Or if you're in one of these, what I would call highways in the sky, they're all, set up by the next gen transportation system. It's all fly by wire. There's a supercomputer at the FAA that pretty much determines where all these planes are going to go. So whenever people are seeing these grids in the sky, it's because they are computer controlled and the plane is flying on the exact same line the last plane flew. And that's really where I stand on it. I see this from like 3 different perspectives. There's what I covered in the last video. I remember blue skies. The whole NATO fuel single fuel concept, how things went from pretty blue skies when I was a child to overwhelmingly white skies, not a yellow sun, just the sun looks white, the sky looks white, especially as you look down towards the horizon. You're going to notice that white haze, really thick white haze, and it may be thinner overhead. But that's the buildup of aerosols from all of these planes flying overhead. So I don't know what you think about that, but that's one side of the equation. Then there's the commercial aviation, Delta, Southwest, all of these guys. And they also are dumping massive amounts of metals into the atmosphere. That's a problem. And then there's the third option, which is the one that people really don't think, I guess they miss it, but there's that CIA option. There's that intentional geoengineering option. And what people don't even realize is that when Aurora Flight Sciences and David Keith, the geoengineer, all of these estimates that have been made said that they could literally geoengineer the entire planet with as little as 8 planes and as much as like 20 planes. So, when you've got, 100,000 flights per day, which is all, come down considerably because of COVID. Most people don't want to fly anymore. Which,
Mm-hmm.
I was actually running for a while. My running joke was, airline industry, you've been very dirty. You're hashtag grounded. Um, and just like I would ground my children, but also grounded flights. You get the analogy. And then along comes COVID, and now the flights are grounded. And I actually put it out in my last video that if anybody could find, that I know that as a result of this, somebody's somewhere is going to write something about, how the atmosphere has changed as a result of um, basically, this COVID grounding. And the interesting thing is, I won't go here, is that I actually got this just right after the video. A gentleman named Andrew sent me several papers, which I greatly appreciate. And it says, the global scale distribution and growth of aviation, implications for climate change. This is November 2020. Investigates air transport demand on global, regional, national, and individual scales. Estimates that only 2 to 4% of the global population flew internationally in 2018. Finds that 1% of the world population emits 50% of the CO2 from commercial aviation.
Mm.
And it goes on to talk about how prior to the COVID-19 crisis, global air transport demand was expected to triple between 2020 and 2050. The pandemic absolutely screwed that up. So it gets really complicated after that. I'm going to summarize all of this stuff in an upcoming video. But generally speaking, they really had a plan going that they were going to do all this carbon trading, carbon offsetting with the airline industry, and make all these agreements. And then along comes this virus, and suddenly they're broke, and the skies are clearing up much more than was expected. And this gives a pretty good opportunity for us to see what the climate would look like without blankets of clouds everywhere. Now, of course, I get lots of emails, lots of texts, tweets, all of that sort of stuff from all over the place. And some people haven't seen any change whatsoever. Whereas other people are saying, what you're saying, what I'm experiencing is more and more blue skies. In fact, yeah, I'll go to my Facebook real quick and show you for myself. I mean, check out this beautiful shot.
Well, I'll have to watch the movie when we're all done because I can't see it on my phone.
Yeah, totally. So that is a beautiful shot. September 4th of an actual, absolutely clear blue sky, Sumter, South Carolina. September 4th. I was cutting grass and I just said, maybe I should share my experience just from my point of view, what my sky looks like right now, because I've been seeing this a lot lately, and it's just rare. But yeah, man, I think that there is a looks Photoshop. Richard says it's not. I swear, bro. That's my I've got a Samsung Note 10 Plus, so it's a very long, big camera, and that's just it on its full mode. So it's a wide panoramic view whenever I flip the camera on its side. That's the original photo, unedited. I could do some crazy things with Photoshop, but what's the point? The whole point was I was literally in my backyard listening to Pandora with my headphones in, and I said, you know what? I should take this camera and point it at the sky real quick, take a photo, because that's freaking gorgeous.
Hey, I'm gonna cut in on you again here. I'm gonna change subject again. how's your health and your well being and everything since the surgery, and is everything still doing pretty good? You sound good, look pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough one because I went to the doctor's office today, and they still haven't fully gotten my thyroid levels in check, and I'm trying
Huh.
to figure that out. So I'm going to be on Synthroid the rest of my life. They cut this thyroid out. You can barely even see my scar now. If y'all want to see that, I'll zoom in. But you can I mean, he did a great job. Let's just put it that way. It could have been much worse. I'm gaining weight. I'm gaining my muscles back, which these were
Good,
getting
good.
eaten by Graves' disease, and that's all going away right now. So that's a good thing. Um, but each time I've had a blood draw every 3 months, it was 2 months, now it's 3 months. Every time I go in there, they up my dose of Synthroid because basically my thyroid stimulating hormone is just spiking. Right now it's at a 15. It should be under a 5. So we're trying to figure out what's going on there, and I'm going to get some more diagnostics done. I have a theory, but I'm not going to share it right now.
But,
Yeah, but other than that, dude, honestly, like I told the doctor, I feel incredible. I feel great. It's been a long time since I've felt great. So I'm glad that, at least that's the case. My heart's not thumping like it used to. And I hope not to, keel over tomorrow, but my chances of getting a heart attack at any moment because of Graves' disease are now almost none. And yeah, somebody just mentioned armor thyroid. I had spoken to the doctor about going to armor thyroid instead of Synthroid, and I'm using name brand, not the generic, for a specific reason. Apparently, the FDA allows you to have 75% of the active ingredient in the generic, and when you're talking about 137 versus 150 micrograms, that 75% could literally be the difference in what you thought you were getting and what you actually got. So but overall I'm feeling pretty good.
good, good. Well, like I said, you sound good, and little bits I seen you a while ago, you look good. Seem to be in good spirits. I mean, you know, wasn't all that long ago. I mean, man, I was watching him. Man, this guy's just like, I don't even want to say it, but I mean, this guy's poor guy's like walking death. I mean, you're looking bad there for
Oh
quite a while.
dude, don't even remind me. I look at some of my old videos and I freaking cringe. um
Oh
in fact, why don't we all cringe? I'll go do this real quick. I'll bring up a cringy ass video of me when I
yeah.
was really gravesing out, because obviously there's going to be some of you don't remember this. But let me just go. I'm gonna go to my tweeter, uh, and I have a tweet that's like pinned there, so we'll do that real quick. So let me go here and go to this, and I'm pretty sure I got a video on there. And look at this guy. I mean, what the hell, bro? That's
I
not
can't
the
even see it
same.
when I'm watching.
Oh, you're gonna get a good laugh afterwards. Abdul Muhammad says, "Do you want to talk to me?" Hey, man, anybody's welcome to call in. You can pick on this.
Yeah. If you want, hey, if I'm holding up the line, let me get off. We'll let somebody else jump on.
Well, yeah, man.
How does that work? I mean, if say you got one guy talking, can you take another call in, or that guy's got to
I
get
don't
off?
know. I don't know if anybody's just getting a busy signal right now, and that's why
Mm.
I'd considered going on to a podcasting network. And the thing was, they were wanting $150 a month for me to have a call-in board where I could, screen calls and all that. And honestly, I don't have $150 a month for that right now.
All right.
That that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to get more people to sign up for Patreon. And hopefully in the near future, I'll have the budget to be able to do more things like that. But for now, I got a free way for people to call in. If you're getting a busy signal, clearly you might be watching the show. I'm on the phone right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you
All
calling
right.
in, Mike. It's good to talk to you again, man. Tell the kids I said hi, and
Yeah, it's been a while, huh? But listen, my phone probably popped up on your caller ID, right? I'm sure it
yeah,
did.
I've still got you in my contacts. Basically, this is my Google Voice number. I've had it for multiple years. So what happens is it actually, it goes directly to my phone. So that if I'm not, near a computer or whatever, everything gets, just directly forwarded to my phone. And if I
Right,
change my cell phone number, then I can just go into Google Voice and change my number in there, and bam, I got a number that I've literally had for 6 years, even though I've changed my cell phone number like 3 times. And people,
well, because I had your cell phone,
hmm
from, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago or
yeah.
whatever it was. And I tried it a couple times before, and it said it had been disconnected. So I just figured, well, you got rid of it.
Well, there's a lot of trolls out there, and I get a lot of spam. And generally
But,
speaking, if people call the phone number, my suggestion to you is always leave a voicemail, because I 99% of the time will not answer the phone.
no,
99%.
it said it had been disconnected. The one
Yeah,
I
I
had
mean, like
before, your old
I
phone.
just asked my wife
Yeah.
earlier, "Where's my phone at?" Because you know why? I don't know. I don't care. I don't need to be holding on to that microwave. It's certainly not going to be in my pocket. Um, Jeremy, appreciate you stopping in. See you next time, bud. Um,
Well, hey, let me jump off to everybody. If you can hear me, I'm going to hang up right now, and then see if you can get somebody to call you. Right, I'm going to hang up right now and get somebody else on the line so you can try it out.
hey, Mike, love you,
Okay?
mean it, man. It's good talking with you, dude. Appreciate you being my
Yeah, you
first
too.
test
Cool.
subject.
So that is a
You
wife and a
did
girl.
consent to this human experiment.
Okay, sounds good.
Later, man.
Okay, bye.
Gold! It worked. So glad we got that figured out. Um, looks like everything's going well now. I've got the chat working. All my transitions are just popping up nicely. For those who were wondering, like I said, um, I do have a Patreon. It's set up, for monthly donations. I intend to be changing the levels on the Patreon in the near future, like what the actual rewards are. I will be coming out with a merch shop. And when I do that, we're going to change some, work that into some of the Patreon, where we give away some free t-shirts, bumper stickers, whatever. And, you can give a one-time donation on PayPal or GoFundMe. But like my wife was just, discussing with me, one of the things that is my biggest hurdle right now is that, I've got an 11-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a wife, and I'm literally here in my living room. And of course, this being double wide, I'm on one half of my living room, and that's why there's a screen behind me. So, my half naked children, because they don't ever, you can't keep clothes on children. I don't, some of you may not have children, but it's just a fact, especially young girls. So, I wanted them to be able to freely roam in the background. But long story short, in the near future, maybe I will be starting a GoFundMe specifically so that I can build a studio outside. And by studio, I mean just like, go to Lowe's or, Home Depot, or if you live in near a Menards and you know what I'm talking about, one of those, just a pre-built shed, load the walls with soundproofing, and, decorate it, and I can run power to it and all of that sort of thing. And that way I have a place that's soundproof. I can go to it whenever and I can get more accomplished because, generally speaking, right now, I've been either pre-recording videos during the day while my kids are at school or just doing them live like I'm doing now when they're in bed. Of course, my 11-year-old is not in bed. She's hanging out with mama right now watching TV. 5-year-old, yeah, she's in bed. But I think this was a good, test experiment. If anybody else wants to call in, do it now because I'm going to wrap this up very shortly. And I just wanted to make sure I had everything properly set up. The last kind of hitch I have is being able to schedule an event and then go live to that event. That way I can go ahead and have it scheduled, Monday through Friday and on Sunday. Some old tires and pack them with dirt and stucco over it. When I was in Arizona, I actually saw somebody packing hay bales all the way around their house. They were building a fence out of hay bales. And I was like, what am I looking at? And then, because I'm driving to this art college, every day. This is a while ago. Got a call here. And eventually they ended up putting metal over the hay bales and then stuccoing over that. Hey, caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from? What's up?
Hey, Jim, it's Mary Ann. I'm calling from Charlotte. I'm a Carolina girl myself. Grew up in Lancaster. Love Carolina.
Well, welcome aboard, Mary Ann, fellow member of the Kakalaki family. I've been to Charlotte many times.
Yeah, well, the job market, I had to go where the money was. But, I grew up in the middle of 32 acres of woods. I'm hardcore. But I wonder if you have any insight on these hurricanes that season. Are we gonna be okay? I mean, it looks like they're spinning some crazy stuff off the coast there. How's Carolina gonna?
I mean, in North Carolina, you guys get it the worst. Like, we tend to dodge the bullet all the time, and then it just slams right into the jutting portion of North Carolina.
Wilmington,
every time. I mean, it's just, I lived through Hurricane Hugo. That was a rough one.
I remember.
Yeah, that's something burned into my memory forever. As far as this season goes, we're still, coming out of a solar minimum. It's to be expected that we're going to have a large number of hurricanes. And, I keep a close eye on them. At one point, I was doing more of bringing up ClimateViewer 3D. Matter of fact, I might as well look while we're, on the phone. Because I haven't honestly looked lately. I've been so busy, preparing for what's coming next that I haven't been keeping up with what's going on right now.
Hey, no apologies. You rock. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a service.
I appreciate that, Mary Ann. Yeah. So as far as the hurricanes go, you can always go. Have you ever used ClimateViewer 3D?
Yes.
Okay, and in there I've got the two things that I watch the most is obviously the hurricane tracking, and I've got two different forms. One is from GDAX, which is the Global Disaster ACS anyway, and that's just a single map that's like a composite of all of the hurricanes that are currently going on. And then I've got the the different layers from NOAA. Which will pop up, and it's got center position forecast, coastal watches and warnings, the cone of uncertainty. God, you gotta love that term in and of itself.
Oh yeah, lots of knobs and whistles and stuff. I always wonder if I'm doing it right. That's why I'm asking.
Well, that's why I intend on updating this sucker in the near future. And obviously, I need to redo my tutorial video because it's growing some gray hair. But yeah, that's I'm gonna do more of that in the near future. Okay, so apparently I do get calls. So somebody else just called in, and I got a voicemail. So there you go.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna hold you up. Thank you for taking the call, Jim.
Marianne, I always pray for anybody in the path of a hurricane, and like I said, you can check out ClimateViewer 3D and go to the alerts, hurricanes, and tropical storms warning section, and just literally click all the buttons there. And
Click them all.
yeah,
I can do
just
that.
run down and click them all, and at least that way you'll have a couple different sources of what these forecast tracks are going to be like. But the one that's most telling for me is if you go to rain and snow, you can actually go to what's called the U.S. rainfall, and it'll say like 24-hour forecast, 5-day forecast. If you bring that thing up, that comes from the one of these NOAA supercomputers, and it'll give you a better idea. And I'm going to bring that up on screen for the people watching at home right now.
Yeah, I like to see multiple models because these people get real excited about their models, more excited than I do.
Well, of course, the computer nerds that invented their models are much more excited about it than you'll ever be. And if it were any different, I'd have to
Hey, I'm a
question.
software engineer. I'm a data hacker. Oh yeah.
Oh, good.
But and the web going down, man. That the hurricane. I mean, think about it. Remember Hugo? I mean, we didn't have power or water, running water for like over a week, dude.
Oh, we didn't have. The eye passed over my house, and we didn't have power for 2 months. And it may have actually been longer than that, but we were literally taking baths in our neighbor. Luckily, one of our neighbors had like a deep in the ground pool.
Well, my mama owned a small business, so she got hers cut back on because she was a business. So we went down to the kennel, literally boarding the grooming kennel, and took a shower down there. But yeah, I mean, and if that happened, think the grid would go out too, bro. I would lose my mind if the internet was out. I literally would lose my mind.
I think I'm gonna have to like figure out a way to get some of that satellite internet for free, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we need to build our own little web.
Well, one of the projects I heard about was using actual ham radio to do internet broadcasting.
Yeah, I was
and vice versa. So that would be really interesting. That'd be
I think you got to get a license for a ham. If you do what's the other one? A CB radio you can do, and you don't have to have a license. But you can't even use a ham radio. Anyway, it's legalese. If the shit hits the fan,
I totally agree with you. But let me put it to you like this: if I'm in the middle of a natural disaster and I decide to fire up a couple thousand watts worth of ham radio, they can kiss my ass and find me afterwards.
Well, hey, when I was coming up, when I was a kid, my daddy had a CB radio in the truck all the time. Breaker 19, 1240. I mean, all of that stuff. That would be cool. That's what we need to do. Anyway, thank you, Jim. I'll talk your head off.
Appreciate it, Marianne.
Good night.
You have a great night. So like she was saying, I'm just kind of showing that right here, and this comes from the NOAA HPC, I believe it's called. These are called the qualitative precipitation forecasts, the QPFs, and this comes directly from NOAA, and you can see that's the KML map source, but anyway. This is the NOAA Weather Prediction Center HPC quantitative precipitation forecast, and basically this is what your weatherman's actually using whenever they're doing their forecast. They all of the same sources that they use to do their local weather broadcast. I've got them available on ClimateViewer 3D along with fires, volcanoes, smoke, So you can come down and flip on. In addition to that, you can bring up the drought monitor. What I'd usually do is I'll bring up the river flood levels, and that way, when a hurricane comes in, I can also see where it's actually flooding. So let me just do this real quick. I want to make the background black because it just makes it easier to show up, and close that out. And then you can see there's still some flooding down here from Ida, which is absolutely insane. And you can click on that and you can see latest observation 34.82 feet. and major flood stages at 35 feet. So you can actually come in, they're color coded, and you can see every, this is the stream gauges from all over America. And as the hurricanes are coming in, you can see where the flooding's occurring. So that's what I do with that. And what I also like to do, because Fukushima, and I'm specifically mentioning Fukushima for the person who said, you don't talk about Fukushima anymore. What I'll do is I'll come down here to energy, and I will bring up the nuclear reactors of the world, and then I'll see, is there flooding near a nuclear reactor? Because that's kind of a problem. So I have all of the different nuclear reactors: boiling water, gas cooled, light, water graphite, other reactors, pressurized heavy water, pressurized water. And then I can come in here and go, okay, well, that flooding is near the River Bend, United States, River Bend 1 nuclear plant, constructed in 1977, still operational. And if those are wondering, you can actually flip this thing over here and then go to satellite, and then you can scroll down to the ground and actually see that reactor. I want to save it and do that. So there's the nuclear reactor right there. And I've even got pictures of some of these reactors like underwater. So don't be surprised if that's something you see like this right here. This is an actual photo of a underwater nuclear power plant. And that's the Cooper, and that's all water. That's not pavement, buddy. Pavement doesn't reflect like that. So yeah, that's how I monitor the weather, and how I look at the whole hurricane scenarios when they come in. Is I go and I look for river flood levels. I go look for things like coal ash ponds, nuclear power plants, and see what's being affected. The whole point of ClimateViewer 3D was to be able to connect the dots. All right, there's the coal power plants. Where's the ash ponds? Coal ash ponds. And you can come in here and see right there next to the nuclear power plant is a coal ash pond, which is that coal fly ash that everybody complains about. And it says annual tons of coal fly ash, 475,000 annual tons of ash are dumped right there next to this river, which, if flooding, would be putting massive amounts of poison into the water. So that's the purpose of ClimateViewer 3D. Oh, y'all can't even see the pictures I was showing or any of that stuff because the chat's in the way. Get out of the way, chat. And there you go. That's why I made so many buttons on this. How close am I to Savannah River nuclear site? Not very, thank God. Let me get all these rivers out of the way real quick, because that's really blocking up the screen. Close that and come over here. And I'm in Sumter, South Carolina, which is right here. And I can actually, you can go to the search engine, got a little search bar somewhere. Where'd it go? I could have swore I had a search bar. But Sumter. Oh, I used to put a dot there. New version. Gotta hate it. Anyway, Savannah River is down here. No. Anyway, they're not near me. There's Oconee. That's Catawba. That's the Summer. I think this is actually is the Virgil Summer that near Savannah River nuclear site? I mean, the Savannah River is on the Georgia border, so that's Oconee. That's the one that could be destroyed like Fukushima if this dam ever breaks. Right here. I did a big article on that. So if this earthen dam ever breaks, the exact same thing that happened in Fukushima would come down Lake Kiowee and destroy the Oconee nuclear site, which would cause a meltdown, very similar to Fukushima. Anyway, interesting stuff. I could play with ClimateViewer 3D all day long. But yeah, that was one of the original concerns. That's one of the things that got me into mapping, was the idea that if I were to, experience a Fukushima in my backyard, where would be the smartest place to go and all of that sort of thing. But, I need to know where these nuclear reactors are and that sort of thing. And it just grew from there. So there are many different things in ClimateViewer 3D. Of course, I've got all the live links, but if you go to the section labeled, click this out, History and Science, there's 231 maps in there with everything from abandoned and sunken ships, ancient ruins, architecture, atmospheric sensors and EMF sites. That has all of the HARP maps, the ionospheric heaters, military defense radars, lasers, NEXRADs, and the list goes on. Oh my. Conquerors and wars. We got maps of the Civil War, World War I, World War II, all kinds of stuff, disease outbreaks, tracking the Ebola outbreak, all that sort of thing. Lots of stuff. And who do we got on the line? Welcome
Hi,
aboard.
this is Nicholas.
Hey, Nicholas, how you doing, man? Where are you from?
Not too bad. Upper Minnesota. I've been watching you for a long time. Shared out your information to people among the academic community before.
I greatly appreciate it.
I work with mapping and ArcGIS for a living. I was just wondering if you had data available.
Well, luckily for you, every single map that's on here has a page associated with it. And the page has the original source that I got the information from, and or the maps that I created myself. I basically have licensed them all Creative Commons International 4.0 non-commercial.
Okay.
So as long as you're not selling them, they're share alike licensed. You're free to use them just as long as you give a link back to where you got them from.
Is there any way to get point data from you?
Well, these are all, most of the stuff that I created, I did it in Google Earth. So they're KML files. And,
Okay.
With ArcGIS, you can import KML and you can pretty much export to anything. At one time, I had them all in GeoJSON format. I've considered going to, other platforms where I could, basically put these all into a database. You're familiar with some of the databases I'm talking about.
Yeah, databases is typically how I like to work with things.
Well, unfortunately for me, I've had the government of Russia, China, and even America, Fort Huachuca, U.S. Air Force CENTCOM, not too keen on the fact that I have a NSA spy facility map and the Five Eyes members. So my website was hacked 6 or 7 times. And in one of these cases, and I think that you can appreciate how crazy this is, in my server VPS, there was a rack of 4 redundant hard drives, and
They blew them all, didn't they?
3 of 4 hard drives failed simultaneously.
Wow.
And that's like, for those who don't understand why we're both like, wow, that's like getting hit by lightning 10 times. The likelihood.
Yeah, one, maybe 2 if they're old.
Yeah, but three hard drives in a RAID array failing simultaneously, losing everything and all backups. I had enough of it, and I literally went to what's called Hugo. It's gohugo.io. So now I statically generate my entire website on my computer and then upload it. So there's no databases, no passwords, no way to hack it. And even if they did hack it, everything's backed up on Blu-ray drives and flash drives. I can fit all 3 of my websites on one flash drive, which I keep in my pocket even when I go on vacation. And I mean, literally, I'm 15 minutes away from putting all 3 of my websites back up.
Well,
But
thank you very much for everything you do. You do a lot of hard work, and I really appreciate it.
well, Nick, since you're into ArcGIS and you're a database guy, um, please write my email address down and get back in touch with me because I do want to look into and I'd previously looked at several different database situations because I have some really large data sets. One of which is obviously like the FCC cell phone tower registry database, and we're talking. I think it's the last time I checked, it was like 2.3 million points, and then you've got the data tables that are associated with each one, um, which came out to like a 1.2 gigabyte freaking Google Earth KML file, which nothing could ever load ever. So it'd be great if I could actually get that into a format where, it's only pulling up data that's relevant to the screen, view area. And I'm working with open source Cesium. Not
Yeah,
sure.
I want to look more into that. I've kind of looked at it a little bit because at some point I'd like to maybe branch off into some of that. But I haven't dealt very much with that one. I've just done seeing they used it. I've looked it up a couple times, but I haven't dealt with it much.
Yeah. And I'm trying to stick, more with the open source stuff because I don't have a huge budget. I have no budget right now. I mean, I think we're working on like maybe $300 or $400 a month, out of all the donations put together. And ArcGIS and something, once they start getting into the, well, you got this many hits and now literally every load's going to cost you this much per month. I don't think that's a wise route for me to move because somebody could literally just mention it on TV and then bam, I got 1 million hits on the website and I'm broke for the next year.
Yep.
It's not a route that I want to go down yet.
No, definitely not. It's definitely a costly version. I just like it because there's a lot of data security there.
Yeah, and I'm gonna keep it this way until I can find a better way or can afford a better way. But I really appreciate your call, Nick. Definitely hit me up, jim@climateviewer.com, and I'd like to see what we can possibly work out for a happy median where we have some security but are able to get some of these larger data sets. And, of course, sharing is caring. I'll share with you too.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Jim.
I appreciate it, Nick.
Yep, bye.
Well, this absolutely made my day. I haven't been able to talk much with some of the viewers out there. I like having random conversations with viewers. You can't come over here because you're not wearing pants. Shh is right. Take your pantsless self and go. Walk away.
I'm trying to get a balloon.
You can get a balloon. Don't come around here. And don't try to troll my chat with your Illuminati symbology or any of that stuff. No, for real. I'm live. This is live.
What I was gonna do by Illuminati symbol.
Oy. She wants to throw up the okay, no, you can't. The camera's way over here.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Peace. Go. Be gone. Shoo. Shoo fly. Don't bother me.
How much of my head can you see?
Marie, the Bashir nuclear power plant in Iran got the Stuxnet virus from Israel. You're really pushing it. Go now. I will take more things from you. Build a mobile unit and paint the walls with good old lead paint. Oh man, lead paint. Works. Works like a boss. Well, anyway, that was my daughter. You just can't keep her off the internet. She wants to stream like her daddy, and eventually we're going to be setting up. Secondary reason for setting up the studio outside of my house will be that me and my daughter will be able to stream together. So she wants to stream some of her artwork, a little bit of nature, and obviously playing video games. And for those who don't know this about me, I'm maybe 44 years old, but I love video games and I'm very good at them and I enjoy playing them. And as soon as I hang up this live stream, I'm going to play a video game like a boss. So, of course, my daughter wants to do the same, and it'd be real fun to play with her as well. So we're going to do that eventually, have the two computers set up to where we can, game together, and she has her own channel called Sea Bear Play, like Care Bear. Her name's Caroline. We've always called her Care Bear. So Sea Bear Play. Letter C. And that should be coming up in the future. Why in the hell is my microphone frozen? Okay. What's up, Mike?
Hey, Jim. Glad I got a hold of you. Man, this is critical information. Probably the hottest topic of the evening. Ready?
Yeah, I'm having an issue right now. Like I'm looking. Just bear with me for a second.
Okay.
Because for some reason it looks like my sound device is frozen. Are you guys getting audio in chat? Because it should totally be fluctuating right now.
Can you hear me at all, Jim?
I can hear you just fine. The live stream is acting really stupid.
Oh.
Okay. They're saying it sounds perfect. If you guys want to see, like right now, my microphone is not moving and neither is the speakers. So I'm going, what's going on there? Kind of freaking
here on the
weird.
phone, you're loud and clear.
Okay.
You're loud and clear on my phone.
Well, press on. We'll just pretend it's not happening.
Okay. This is critical information. All right, ready? My poor kid has an Xbox 360. And we all know you're the ultimate techie or gamer. So here's what happened. It's the old one. It's an older one. It's a black box. So it worked like a champ. And all of a sudden, something happened. And now it's got a red circle spinning around on the button. And it's called the ring of death. Do you know anything about that or how to fix that?
I have experienced that previously. Hold on a second. What did I do?
Okay.
Ring of death.
And this old Xbox, this is his baby. He's got all the cool controllers and the skeleton controllers. And so I don't know if he did something wrong. We don't understand what happened to it. It was working like a champ.
Turn off the Xbox 360 completely. All lights should be deactivated. You should hear the fan and the console turn off. Disconnect all cables from the console. Includes power, controllers, USB sticks, other accessories. Remove the external hard drive if one is attached. Do you have one?
No, it doesn't have one.
Okay.
Right now it is unplugged.
He said remove all the wires, everything.
Because this is basically saying that it's a hardware failure. So it could actually be that you have a problem with the connection to the TV. It could be that the actual console is toast. So buckle your seatbelts. But regardless, so you're saying you got all four are lit up?
Wait, yeah.
Was it a full red ring?
Yes, a full red ring.
Yeah, it was a spinning. It was like a spinning red. It was spinning, right?
It was not spinning.
Wait, I'm wrong.
It was just staying red, and the the whole circle is just staying red.
I thought it was spinning. No.
No, it's
Okay, I'm on it. It's
Okay.
just solid.
So the four red LEDs. This means the cable connecting your Xbox 360 to your television isn't working properly. That's what my first guess was.
Okay.
Did you disconnect your HDMI and plug it back in?
HDMI?
What the cable that connects the television? Are you using the 3 plug or are you using the HDMI cable?
I was using the HDMI cable until my HDMI cable broke. So now I was using the AV cable for it.
Yeah. So go tomorrow and get HDMI cable and reuse that.
Okay.
That's probably your problem.
Jim, we do have an HDMI cable inside the house. I plugged the HDMI cable into my Xbox and into the TV, and it did work.
No, was it a good one?
Yes, it was.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell you now, from personal experience, unless you're actually pulling it out of a computer that you've actually seen it work in the last 5 minutes, and you know that cable is good, that cable might not be good. Because I've got a lot of HDMI cables laying around, and about half of them are good. So I literally hit it with a hammer. My granddaddy, well, my uncle and my dad had a theory, saying that went with everything. If at first you don't succeed, kick the shit out of it. I don't suggest kicking electronics or hitting it with a hammer. Richard, behave. But that, according to the docs online, if you got 4 red LEDs, which would be a full circle, that means that there is a problem between the connection to the Xbox and the TV. And since you have an AV cable, it may be something on the back of the TV is malfunctioning. It may be something on the back of the Xbox is malfunctioning. If the thing gets bumped around a lot, those RCA cables, they can get broken internally. I know this from multiple years working on car stereos, and working on just stereos in general. And the same is true with electronics. Anything with the RCA jack, if you wiggle that cable, or say, your younger brother, sister knocked it off the table one time and those wires are connected or it's dangling by those wires, that could fry that sucker. So I would at the very least disconnect everything, disconnect it from the back of the TV, plug everything back in, plug your power cord in last, and then turn it back on. Barring that, if that doesn't work, try a brand new HDMI cable. If that doesn't work, it might be toast.
Okay. We'll just go out tomorrow and buy a brand new cable. They're only like, what, $30, right?
You can get an HDMI cable off of Amazon for like $8. Locally, I don't know. They always charge you more, locally, but I like to support local business, and Amazon's currently funding geoengineering, so I'm much more likely not to buy from Amazon anymore unless it's absolutely necessary, similar to Walmart.
Right. Okay. Well, there's a few like there's GameStop here in town. There's Walmart. There's Target. There's a bunch of pretty cool stores here. Yeah,
man. I hear you, dude. Well, I know that's a serious emergency as a game from one gamer to another. I can feel your pain, brother, and I hope that you get reconnected ASAP. No cap.
He's asking all the neighbors. I don't know what to do. It was working so good.
He's having a panic attack right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
I'm getting a little bit lonely.
He says, I'm getting a little bit lonely.
Yeah. I feel your pain. Okay. I feel your pain. Well, good luck, Mike. Unplug it. Power's the last thing you plug back up whenever you put it all back together. And if Humpty Dumpty isn't working, it's broken. But try the HDMI cable. The AV cables are crap to begin with, and they don't give the resolution or the speed that he's going to want anyway.
Okay. All right. I'll shoot you a text or something tomorrow. See what we come up with.
Roger Dodger.
Okay. Thanks. Bye bye.
All right, later, Mike. And we have fixed an Xbox. Or not. I mean, I think that it might be broken. Anyway, guys, I think this was a successful test of the ClimateViewer broadcasting system. I am able to take phone calls for a change. I'm thoroughly enjoying that. In the future, we will be topic driven. If we get off topic, hey, that's the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, I'm all about DisplayPort, and then all of a sudden they come out with the latest HDMI supporting resolutions and frequencies over 360 hertz. So I'm always vacillating between DisplayPort and HDMI. Well, let's not get too nerdy for everybody watching at home. Yeah, exactly. Bad soldering, cheap parts. You'd be surprised if you don't know the company you're buying your cables from. You can get some real crappy cables. Well, anyway, guys, I really appreciate everyone tuning in and being a part of this experimental broadcast. I do want to do a live, chat this Sunday. So we're looking probably, I got a meeting at 1 o'clock, so probably around 3 o'clock Eastern on Sunday. And then look for regular videos Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock Eastern. That's going to be a regular thing from here on out. And I am still working on programming, so what I probably will end up doing is similar to what's going on right now. I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to hit this button right here, and then I'm going to fire up the coding and just start working on the website and chat with you guys while I do it, because I need to do it anyway, and why not, right? So 2 birds, 1 stone. Maybe I'll get distracted a little bit while I'm doing it, but hey, why not? I'm going to be listening to Pandora in the background. I can mute that, take a call or two, and chit chat while I code. So look forward to that in the near future. And if you have any suggestions or anything you really want answered in a video, let me know. I'll try to squeeze that in next week. I've already got 3 or 4 videos planned out. Bunch of questions coming in via email, some comments from the previous videos this week I want to address. But again, thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys like the whole new, intros, outros, sliding stuff. The stream will be ending shortly. But like I said, I'm constantly working on evolving this the stream. Going to be working on it a lot more in the near future. And once all 3 websites are completed, and the merch shop is up and all that stuff, then there's going to be a really big change, along with hopefully some secret stuff that I don't want to really disclose right now. John asked what my Twitch handle is. My Twitch channel is ClimateViewer, but I have literally decided at this point I'm not streaming to any other sources. I'm not streaming to Facebook anymore. I'm not streaming to Twitch anymore. But what I do plan on doing is what I'm doing right now while thank you very much, Colette. I'm blessed with 2 very beautiful daughters who are very intelligent, and the little smart ass 11-year-old is an orange belt in mixed martial arts. Boy, you just got me totally sidetracked thinking about how lucky I am. Some special new things coming up. Can't really talk about them, but it involves a little bit of comedy, maybe a chalkboard or 2, some skits, some funny shits, things like that. I hope I get back on Tinfoil Hat again as well. That'll be fun. John, appreciate you subscribing, bro. And we're going to continue to do this. So look forward to a bunch of changes in the near future. And oh yeah, Already got a couple videos lined up, but if you have any ideas, anything specific you want me to cover in depth, let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to continue to kick it and work on these websites and look for big changes coming up soon. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, please do now. If you enjoyed this lengthy chit chat experimental video, please consider giving a donation. Sharing is caring. Gently smush that like button. Tell your friends and family. Come on over, hang out with us sometime. And love you, mean it. See you on the next one, guys. I'm out.